Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside our producer and cameraman for this game, Wally Mitchell. I'm Ryan Brannigan, taking you through the second of three on the south side on this Monday evening, a chilly one outside and especially inside the ice rink here at the rinks in Oppog. Going to be, on paper, looks to be a great matchup between Longwood and St. Anthony at the JV level. Longwood, they currently sit in third place with a record of 6 wins. They also have 1 regulation loss and 2 ties. Meanwhile, St. Anthony JV Gold have 6 wins and 3 losses. One of those wins coming by way of overtime. That overtime win coming against East Islip on Sunday, October 26th. The story of the season thus far for St. A's, it was a great start to the year. A narrow 5-4 win against Sachem, first of their 4-win streak that ended with a 15-2 win against Ward Melville. However, East Islip, they ended that streak, and it's been inconsistency ever since, where they've traded losses with wins. Most recently, a 3-0 loss to the top of the JV division leading Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red. For just prior to that, an 8-0 win against Connecticut Sayfield JV. All that leading into tonight's matchup against Longwood. Longwood, meanwhile, they have not lost in regulation since they last played a St. Anthony team back on Friday, September 26th. It's either been wins or ties. Most recently, an 8-3 win against KPC. Prior to that, they tied East Islip 3-3. 9-1 victory against West Islip. Prior to that, and a very strong season for the Longwood Lions JV squad, and helping them along this journey in terms of points and goals. Their leading goal scorer, point scorer, that is Jeremy Maresca. In 9 games played, has 14 goals, 3 assists, 17 points. Second on the team in points is Nick Shepard, who has 11 helpers, most on the team, to go along with his 4 goals, 15 total points. Brendan Nicotri, 7-7, 14 points in 6 games played. And Christopher Bellaro has 11 points in just 4 games played for Longwood, as he is a difference maker on the back end for this Lions team. Getting the start in net tonight for Longwood appears to be their goaltender Kasper Stabinski. And in net for the Friars, it'll be Gaetano Cecchino, as we are underway here in the first period between the Friars and the Lions. An early go-ahead into the zone for St. Anthony. Try to keep along the far point, dragging, but unsuccessfully so is Gasparic. Away comes Arenzo. Arenzo has it poked from him. A good defensive play in the early going from Leighton Veith. Meanwhile, here's Hurlbert. Shot towards Stabinski. Stopped by the Longwood Tendy and deflects into the netting and out of play. Early stoppage in this first period. Some key players to look out for on the Friars. Our leading goal scorer, Reeve Chero. Anthony Catazone on the back end, supplying 9 points in 7 games played. It's really the depth is the story for the Friars, as it often is, as they have several players with over 6 points to start the season. 7 players to be exact. Here's an odd man rush. Chance. A glove save made by Cecchino on Bellaro. Good looking save from the Friar netminder on the early odd man rush situation. It's Bellaro, who I said to keep an eye out for on the back end. Leads the charge on the 2-on-1 and the excellent glove save. made by the Friar netminder. As we're less than a minute in. Early good chance for Longwood. Bellaro off the face-off win, getting the glove and pad on it that time was SCHSHL. Quick breakout for St. A's. Moving in, that's number 44. Their leading point scorer, Reeve Chero, has it come off his stick, trying to clear it. Taby taken back by Chero. Chero far circle, trying to get around Duep. Duep and Taby combine to take it off Chero's stick, but Chero prevails for the moment. Now poked to the neutral zone by the Lions. And doing so was Hummus. Thomas will go for a change. Here's Bellaro. 1v4. Try to dangle around Catazone. Catazone stripped him of the puck, sent in. Going in after it, that's Adriana Morabito. I've not seen much of her thus far this year, as Morabito actually has played 8 games. Just the times I've called them, she hasn't been here. There's a chance for Longwood. They score! Through the 5-0 of SCHSHL, and Longwood strike first. 1-0 Lions. And a goal scored, I think, by Michael Gaudiello. And it is Gaudiello, and he's got his 8th of the season with a great dangle and right through the legs of SCHSHL.
Let's go, Longwood!
And so it's the Lions who strike first, 1-0. See if we get any assists assigned to that goal. Centering try, intercepted. Arenzo trying to chip it past the defender, Matuza. Rolls back along to Ferrara. Ferrara on the backhand, sticked away by Stabinski. Hickson will try to backhand around. Puck loose in behind Stabinski. Poke to the wing, and Arenzo backhands into the neutral zone, and Fink looking to catch up with it. Ryan Fink, far circle, rips one off the side of the net, and Arenzo gets tripped up right into SCHSHL. I don't think that would have prevented any goal from scoring for goalie interferences. Again, it wasn't on his own accord. He went toward the netminder. Neither here nor there. Ferrara shot blockered away by Stabinski. Held in by Matuza. Down the wall for Engelhardt. It's Gaudiello from Shepard. Shepard, another assist, number 12 on the season. Matuza, nice little move around Arenzo. Dangles once more. Near circle shot, save, rebound! No! It's stopped by Stabinski, and they're in disbelief on the Longwood bench and on the ice. St. Anthony can't believe it. Matuza can't believe it. He's on his way to the bench with his hands over his head. Kasper Stabinski, he might have made save of the week with that one. Keeps it 1-0 Longwood. Comes all the way down and on goal to SCHSHL, who stops it with his blocker and sticks it to Veith. Leighton Veith starts his way up ice. Pass intercepted by Hamas. Zeno out there as well. Big fan of LISN is number 9 for Longwood. As here's Bellaro, looked like he was deking right in on Stabinski, but he was a defender, makes a Friar miss, speeds up the left wing side. Bellaro trying to get around Gasparic, could not. Gasparic and Bellaro together in behind SCHSHL. It's Bellaro who comes away with the puck. We're 4 minutes in, first period, 1-0 Longwood. Bellaro keeps it around the circle. Bellaro wheeling, shot blocked, went off Jake DeAndrea in front. And now quickly skated up ahead, unimpeded. Here is Veith. Veith a shot. High wrister. Looked like Taby might have gotten a stick in, deflected it over the top. Held in at the far blue line by Muller. Brought along by Taby. To the near side, Taby will outweight DeAndrea, who'll go for a change. Sends it to Duep. Duep trying to get it over to Nicotri. Here is Nicotri. Back in behind, Longwood breakout. Nicotri taps it along for Gaudiello, who opened the scoring. Gaudiello to the backhand. Survives a check, dished out by Monteleone. In behind Nicotri. Backhand to the front of the net for a shot from Shepard. Knocked down in front. Back for Hickson, a drive. Another try. Save made Cecchino on Shepard in the slot. So both goaltenders making great saves early in this one. Michael Gaudiello tries to sweep it up the near boards. Rejected from doing so. Now back for Hickson. Tapped along, not out of the zone. Great keep in by Catazone. His shot, though, hit a stick and deflects into the netting and out of play. So face-off stays deep in the Longwood end. As we're 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the first period. 1-0 Lions. Coming up in between periods, stay tuned. Gonna have the top 10 plays of the week, plays 10 through 6. Engelhardt. Played to the front of the net. Hurlburt spins, shoots it somewhere. It's on the stick of Taby, who hits the red line and sends in. Cecchino lets it go by him. Handled by Arenzo only for a moment. Matuza takes it away, and Matuza gets going along the far boards. Now streaks middle. Matuza barreling in, spinning away from one, but couldn't get around the host of Lions. Ryan Fink made the jump from developmental to JV. Pushed it across. Oh, Stabinski! You can't be serious. Pouncing like a cat made the save. They're staying on your toes, and then there's this from Kasper Stabinski. Watch him go airborne. Never got to see Hasek play, but I imagine that's something he would do and approve of. Well, I don't want to speak for the Hall of Fame goaltender, but he certainly had a flair for the acrobatic. Taken off the stick of Liam Becker to the line, not out. Good keep. Gasparik walks. Gasparik fires. Blocker save made. Stabinski. Liam Becker once more survives a check from Zano. Drags at the line, taken away, and Hickson breaks out for Longwood. Ryan Hickson. Check by Veith. Gasparik on the loose puck in behind. Cecchino fans on it with Zano in his face. Up the far boards. Friars do get it out. And DeAndrea sends ahead. Taken in further by Chero. Reeve Chero banks it back to the blue line. Gasparik. Back to Chero. Down the wall, DeAndrea. Has a wide open Muller, does finally get it to him, who sends it back to Veith. Veith mishandles with Gaudiello, applying pressure. Good stick handling from Gasparik. He works his way down. Challenge from behind from Nicotri. Gasparik got away from Nicotri, but not away from the stick of Hickson. Now Shepard will send in. Banks right out in front, deflects just wide. We are past the 7-minute mark of the first period. Still not out of the zone. Gaudiello moves in. Gaudiello. Fans on the shot. Great stick check made by Schechter. And now it gets by the far point of Taby. Nicotri hustles in after it. Veith was in support. Friars still do get control toward the front of the net by Morabito. And now Longwood breakout 4-on-2. Shepard centers all the way across. Taby will pick it up in the far corner. Connor Taby. Checked by Veith. Shepard comes away with it. Sauced it back to Nicotri. Nicotri to Bellaro. D to D. Bellaro, nice move to get around Muller. Bellaro could not get around Monteleone, but back checks and gets it back away from Muller. Another nice move. Bellaro. Showing off the moves tonight. There's no disco ball, but don't tell that to Bellaro, as Gaudiello can't hold in. Bolaro right back in on the forecheck. Nicotri covering defensively. In comes Bolaro. He'll sauce one on. Goal for a rebound save. Shepard. Smart play from Bolaro as he almost passed it to Shepard off the goaltender. Back the other way. The stick of Stabinski breaks up that seam pass intended for Engelhardt. High flip. Lands. Shepard, Nicotri. Nicotri tried to, between the legs, drop pass. It was not successful. And back come the Friars. 3-on-2 over the blue. It's Ferrara, who goes wide, takes the shot. Save made Stabinski. Gaudiello. Turns it over. Hobart. The stick of Nicotri in the way. And Nicotri will look to settle things down, rifles it just wide of Cecchino. I think he was trying to get it on goal to avoid an icing. So he was ready to make a change. The Longwood captain, Brandon Nicotri. And there's Kasper Stabinski looking as relaxed as ever in between the pipes. Arms outstretched. Now he'll settle into his position as they drop the puck to his right. 50-50 draw that ultimately is controlled by St. A's. And holding in, banking it off the wall to himself, right off the glass. And now they're going to call a hand pass, are they? On Matuza with a Renzo in his grill on that near point. Faceoff comes just outside the Longwood end. Taken away by Matuza. Good read. Matuza dangles. Matuza scores! What a goal! Ties the game at 1. Scored by number 83 and yellow and black, Jason Matuza. Ties the game up at 1. 4:40 left in the first period. Waste no time establishing the zone. Sent across. I was positive it was 83, not 87. Here is Vaith. As a rocket of a shot off the stick of Becker goes wide. Vaith towards Stabinski. Save, rebound, they score! A long shot that's going to be stopped by Stabinski. Similar to a play we just saw from Bolaro, as you see both Friars forwards get in behind the defense, who will get the goal. 2-1 St. A's. With goals coming a minute and 23 seconds within each other. Here's Muller. They're looking for more. Shot it wide. Gannett taken by Muller. Muller back to Morabito. Morabito down the wall, Gasparic. Gasparic, couple shimmy shakes on the backhand over the net. And now Nicotri will win the 50-50 battle and carry up ice. Brandon Nicotri rifles one as soon as he establishes the zone into the glove of Cecchino, who makes the save. They'll get the ozone draw with 2:56 to play. Becker from Vaith, the second goal. The first goal, 99% sure was Matuza. They'll say it's from Engelhardt. Ensuing puck drop to the left of Cecchino, won by the Friars. Cooper Ferrara. The pass from Monteleone. Seam pass. Knocked down by Nicotri. Here is Gaudiello. Gaudiello surviving a couple stick checks from Catazone. Brings it around. Michael Gaudiello to the blue line. Bolaro. Bolaro and Gaudiello trade places for the moment. Held in by Nicotri. And now intercepted by Monteleone, who leads Engelhardt. Engelhardt's saucer pass knocked down by Nicotri, taken back by Engelhardt. Stuff and try is stopped by Kasper Stabinski. With 2:17 left here in the opening period. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Tons of great stuff on there. Last night's best. And soon we'll unveil top 10 plays from last week. And a chance out in front, and Nkotre couldn't get it to go, and now the loose puck is swallowed up by SCHSHL with 2 minutes left in the first period. So yeah, top 10 plays coming your way in between the first and second. Plays 10 through 6. 5 through 1 will be in between second and third. Face off to the right of SCHSHL. Comes on, and Nkotre for a shot. Save made by Gaetano SCHSHL. Moved up the far boards. Knocked down by Hickson. Shepard takes a swing at it. Around Hickson goes Becker. Becker fires it across. Loose puck handled, and going down the boards was Charo. Ran out of the reach of Reeve there. And Matuza tracks back to it with Gaudiel by Becker. Becker finds Catazone, or pardon me, it's Monteleone. Nope, that is each player, I believe, thinking the other was going to take charge of that puck. Both could have had a touch on it. Shepard around Morabito. On for Coletti, who sends it back into the neutral zone for Byers. 2-1 as that puck flips all the way up into the stands to our right. Sent back to the ice by a Fryer. Maresca to take the draw. He's on with Fink and Arenzo. And there's Bellaro stepping up from his left point position. Across and banked for Bellaro with 16 seconds to play. Bellaro wraps around the wall. Maresca there as well. Chipped along by Vaith. Vaith started by Ryan Fink in behind the net. And that's how we conclude period number 1. By Englehart, but I am almost positive top 10 plays of a week ago here on LI Sports Network.
Yeah. Splits through the D. Is going to get a break.
They were surging. Kearney, near point shot goes wide. Now out in front, backhand shot, they score! It's Blaschuk!
Holding the spot for him, keeps it in. Self chip off the wall. Booth out front to Wagner, they score.
Now McFadden, full head of steam in. McFadden.
I want to quickly apologize for any buffering or stream issues. We're doing our best. As across the chance there for Fink. Hopped over his stick. 2-1 Friars. Becker and Matuza the goal scorers. As taking it away and moving up by Bellaro. Bellaro goes wide, looking for the seam pass. Doesn't have it, sends it around the boards to Taby. Taby deflected on by Fink and across. Bellaro off the bar. No! They say no goal. On a great setup off the pads of SCHSHL. Now another shot into the glove of Gaetano SCHSHL. Looks like our stream is good now, Wally. Seems, you know, just happens. These things just happen. Bellaro, centimeters from tying the game at 2. Face off to the left of SCHSHL, skated free and surviving the hit. Charo, far circle, wrist shot over the top. Held in by Monteleone. Banked back to Monteleone. Shot tipped, ricocheted in behind. Hickson getting a hit from Chero. Sharp angle try is stopped by Stabinski, who will cover. League right here on LI Sports Network. And win it back to Catazone. Catazone immediately challenged by McLaughlin down the far out on the ice, but throwing the body as that puck deflects behind Stabinski. Hamas and Becker. Becker prevails. Hickson fires, kept in at the far point by Catazone. Now DeAndrea try to drop it, had to take it away by Shepard. Here goes Nick Shepard. Shepard challenged by Nicotri, flipped to the neutral zone. Catazone intercepted, sent it back in, but Longwood will reorganize as the Friars change. 12:43, now 41 left. Longwood goal scorer back in that first period. Hurlburt sends around. Now Morabito down the far half wall for Matuza. Matuza, Engelhardt save, rebound save, Stabinski still loose out in front. Matuza shot denied. Stabinski, another try, no. They'll send it back to the point for Coletti. A wrister through traffic, blocked by Hickson, and that stick. So here you see another who, when he's not making saves, just has his arms wide over the posts like he's relaxing at the beach. Chris Bellaro in behind his goaltender. Carries from into the neutral zone, gets knocked down. Believe he drew a penalty there. Stabinski off to the bench, he agrees, and yeah.
Find some ice, let's go.
Power play coming for Longwood. It's the first power play for either side here tonight, as Cooper Ferrara, one of the penalty killers for St. A's, to the box. So a good opportunity here for Longwood to tie this game. Face off to the left of Cicchino, comes back to Taby with a wrister. And that's right into the SA of the St. Anthony logo on the chest of the goaltender. Had his mask off at the start of that play. No, that can't be. We actually saw that at the NHL level, I believe a year or two ago, where the referee didn't check in with the goaltender before he dropped the puck to make sure he was ready. He was not, and they scored right off the draw, and they wiped it off the board. So almost a similar situation here with Cicchino. His mask was not yet back on his face when they dropped the puck. Friars clear. Here's Bellaro. Bellaro try to go back to Arenzo. Not sure Arenzo was really expecting it, nor was all that close to the puck. Hands along for Taby. Taby knocks down the forechecking Engelhardt, and here comes Bellaro. Bellaro over the line onside. Settles into the left point position before dumping it in behind. Took a weird bounce to the blue line and past Bellaro all the way down. Stabinski out to stop it. And Kasper Stabinski will go off the high glass to Bellaro. Bellaro lost it from Hurlburt behind, and out of the zone it comes. Stabinski once again out to stop it. Instead of playing it to his teammate Shepard, played it right to Reeve Chero, but Shepard quickly gets it right back away from Chero. But power play that has not seemed to have gotten into rhythm. A save made Stabinski as he went out to try to get that puck. And now back out in front, it's Chero point blank. Save made Stabinski. This Longwood power play is seemingly stuck in neutral at the moment, and just sloppy play continues. They're bailed out by Becker overskating the puck. Becker with just 12 seconds left on the power play for Longwood. Not that we track it. I'm tracking it mentally here, doing the best I can. Here is Hurlburt. Longwood 0 for 1 tonight. On for it, it's Monteleone and Gaudiello. Monteleone prevailing with the puck. Carries it to the line, not out. Nice play into Coterie. Now here's Shepard. Back out in front, they score! It's a similar looking goal. Longwood player gets caught in behind. But a beautiful pass to set up Nicotri for the equalizing goal here in the second. Shepard's second assist of the night as well. The team lead. Shepard doing so in 3 less games played. Centering bid, and the pad stop along the post. Far post there for Stabinski. As Byers try to carry it into the zone. That's from Cooper Ferrara to set it up. Now Ferrara shot. Save made Stabinski. Hamas giving Engelhardt the business in the near corner. Puck rolls out to the slot for Matuza wide. Back out in front. And a save made with a glove by Stabinski. Kasper Stabinski keeping Longwood tied at 2 with his save. Gonna watch a redirect out in front. Not sure if it was intentional or not. And then that save right there. Oh my. Kasper Stabinski. Second, stellar, at least second, if not more, save tonight. He had that incredible diving save off a rebound earlier in that first period. Best believe that one's been bookmarked as Fink in the corner as it chipped by him, sending it back toward Fink Bellaro. And once again into neutral ice. Bellaro will skate back to it. Liam Becker and Jake DeAndrea forechecking for the Friars. It's Bellaro for Taby. Taby on the backhand. Push it into the zone. Leighton Vaith with Fink forechecking. Finds Hurlburt. Hurlburt dangling around a couple. Forward Suchard into the zone, and now here's Ryan Fink. Loads up, fires, blocker save made, Cicchino. He's got some power on that shot, doesn't he, Ryan Fink? And the Friars are off sides. As for any issues with the stream here, as we're at the mercy of our connection here tonight, and it's not exactly been friendly to us. Nicotri knocked down by Morabito. Loose puck handled by Gaudiello. Engelhardt hoping for Shepard. Catazone gets over now to Schechter. Schechter out of the zone. Here's Byers. D to D to Hickson. Try to return to Byers. Nearly intercepted by Schechter. Now taken away completely here by Muller. Byers looking at Nicotri. Fires in. Wraps around the wall. Gaudiello and Muller come together. Ferrara. Now Byers. 5:28 left here. Second period. Gaudiello. Stretch pass intercepted. Catazone taken back. Caught up along the Longwood bench. Moved along. Now to Catazone, challenged by Nicotri, gets it ahead to Hurlburt. Hurlburt with Ferrara. Hurlburt by Stabinski, might have been blocked in front by Hickson. Hard to tell. Here's Hickson for Shepard. Stream will be up. By the way, if this is heading through the live stream, just be reassured you can come back later. We'll have the game uploaded with our recording. Here's Engelhardt, save made off the mask of Stabinski. Ferrara. Taken away by Byers, but Byers can't clear. On for Matuza. Angled into the corner by Stabinski. Now a wraparound try, and Stabinski is there. Kasper Stabinski keeping Longwood Tied at 2. He's done a fantastic job, really, since they got that equalizing goal of keeping the Lions from falling behind. A number of great saves from Stabinski. So again, welcome back. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan with Wally Mitchell, Longwood and St. Anthony. Couple of top teams in the JV division squaring off against one another. It's St. Anthony JV Gold as opposed to Black. JV Black with the slightly better record to this point in the season. Here's Matuza. Hurlburt calls for it in the slot. Can't get it to him. Byers to Bellaro. Bellaro willing it out of the zone. Flips across over the head of Zano. Matuza sends in. Here's Connor Taby. Taby to Fink, trying to deflect out. He can. It's Matuza toward the net, deflected and never got through to Stabinski. Skated clear by Bellaro. Not quite out of the zone though. Rivchero. Across, nobody home with Zano. Zano backhands across, intercepted, trying to get it to Fink. Matuza to Becker, he's in. Becker on a breakaway. Becker scores! A 3-2 lead. Liam Becker, his second here tonight. Friars, Liam Becca from Matuza. As a quick shot back the other way for Longwood is stopped by Cicchino. Friars back out in front. They led 2-1. Morabito far boards. Pass across to Hickson. Now Renzo try to flip ahead for Maresca. Does. Maresca far circle, spinning, got it on goal. Try to go through Byers. Now Vaith, wheeling Vaith, wrist shot wide. Flipped and deflected by Arenzo, period. Taken away by Fink. And Gaudiello's entry into the zone thwarted by Gasparic. No icing as Muller gets there first for St. A's. Muller out in play for offsides with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the second period. St. Anthony lead at 3-2 on a goal scored a little over a minute ago by Liam Becker. Right pad save made. Stabinski rebound. Blocked by Taby to the line, out Monteleone toward the front of the net, where it's taken away by Nicotri, who flips for Shepard. Shepard barreling down on Catazone. Play to Bellaro, but out of the zone. Longwood must touch up. Time now for Ferrara. Now in the skates of Hurlburt. He'll collect. Hurlburt looking for the stick of Catazone, missed him. Catazone forces a turnover now to Hurlburt, a drive and a save made with the glove by Stabinski. Now Bellaro gets to it. Bellaro takes the shot, sharp angle. Try to sell the pass across, but from that angle, not much selling to be done unless you're the best salesman ever. As Engelhard a drive and a glove save again made by Stabinski in the final seconds. 2 seconds left. One last shot potentially, wouldn't have counted anyway. And we have come to the end of the second period. It's the Friars in front by 1. They lead Longwood 3-2 at the end of 2. And without further ado, time 6 or 5 through 1. Good move here by Aravena. Fire scores! Caesar Araf.
The Carpich. Kahn drops it back, and Carpich leads the rush. Cuts across, hits Kahn to the backhand.
So there you see Mason Dorian, I'd say a close second. So stay tuned. Next Monday, each week, we're going to have the top 8 candidates in this game alone. For Longwood JV, as Hamas pokes it out of the zone past Gasparic. It's 3-2 St. A's. Try to bank one to the blue line, taken away by Vaith. And Hickson will get to it. Towards Stabinski, save made, rebound stopped as well with Engelhardt right there in front. Ferrara, backhand flips across. Taken by Hobart, back to Vaith, a wrister and a save made Stabinski. He'll hold on to it. 13:35 left here in the third period. Friars up by a goal. Fanned out by DeAndre, deflected in front by Chero, and a good reaction. Pad save made by Stabinski. Now Chero has a roll off the end of his stick, battling Maresca. Chero and Maresca together. Bolaro chips it away from in front of the net, tries to break out, and now swept ahead by Arenzo to Bolaro. Bolaro in with speed. Bolaro goes wide. Far circle. Fink, wrister save made by Cicchino on Ryan Fink. Fink led the entire developmental league in terms of goal scoring a year ago. Now Renzo had it go off his stick onto the stick of Liam Becker, who his most recent goal of the game is second as the Friars ahead 3-2. Angled back for a shot, blocked in front, looked like it hit Maresca. And now Renzo to the line, not out, held in by Catazone, who rips it wide. Trying to bank it out, Bolaro only gets as far as Monteleone, who walks far side of the ice out in front and flipped to center by the Longwood Lions. Sputtering puck, it'll get past the goal line and be enough for icing. 12:06 left here. Right of Stabinski. Here's Nicotri. Try to lead Shepard. And Coletti gets in the way of it. This puck picked up. Keeps in along the near point. There's Morabito. Backhands to Muller. Nicotri. Morabito. Taken away by Hickson. On for Shepard's zone. Takes it on the backhand. Now forehand shot deflects over the net. Looked like Nicotri got a stick in there. And he'll get a shot glove save made Cicchino. Nicotri on back for Byers. Return to Nicotri. Nicotri to Gaudiello. Good passing. Gaudiello couldn't quite pull the trick. Longwood look like they're getting a power play out of it. Off their best scoring chance of the period and best scoring chance in quite some time. It's Muller off for the penalty for St. Anthony. The power play Lions at a critical juncture of the game. They trail by one. Muller off for a hook. Shot got blocked, and Engelhardt puts it into the zone. It's by the stick of Shepard. Nicotri hustles in after it. Taken by Vaith. Vaith, good play to stop that puck by Gaudiello. Nicotri in the near corner. Pinned it to wait for help to come down low. Got it in a sharp angled stuff-in try. Came out the other way and sent down ice by Hobart. Captain for the St. Anthony JV Gold team, Engelhardt in the corner. Now it's Nick Shepard. Shepard cuts in. Gaudiello couldn't quite get it to his forehand. for Hurlburt, took it away. Nicotri to Byers. Try to go back to Nicotri. Longwood trying to reestablish the zone. Shepard has a poke from his stick by Gasparic. Shepard banks in. Vaith first on it. Vaith around the forechecking Longwood Lions into the neutral zone and plays it into the offensive zone. Just 33 seconds left on the Lion power play. They're 0 for 1 tonight. St. A's offside. 28 seconds left on the Longwood power play. Bellaro. Here's Maresca. Chero trying to help out. Maresca on it. Maresca gets there. Backhands out in front. Nobody home. Power play has expired. Longwood 0 for 2. Stabinsky makes another heroic save. Very close to being offside. And coming up. It's going to end. Pay careful attention as it ends. The puck is dropped. They survive the penalty kill, but now they give it away. Here comes Bellaro. Canazone streaking back. Tries to make a diving play, and it did force Bellaro's hand. Lorenzo across to, by the way, for Liam Becker off that face-off win. So for Liam Becker, who entered the contest tonight he has been one of the key difference makers tonight for St. Anthony. Longwood back to the power play. And if the last power play where they were trailing by 1 was essentially a must score, this one certainly is. Now trailing by 2. It's Ryan Hickson surviving a stick check. Long shot, save made Cicchino. Rebound cleared by the Friars. Byers. Intercepted by Hurlburt. Hurlburt sets up Engelhardt. Fan on the shot. Intercepted Matuza. Sends one on goal where it's gloved by Stabinsky. Hickson to Fink. Fink into the zone. Now Maresca. Couldn't quite settle it down and sent back into the neutral zone by the Friars. Jeremy Maresca. He's got 14 goals on the year. Could use number 15 right about now. And shoveling it back into the Longwood end of the ice. Matuza, he'll go for a change. Fresh group of Friars out on the ice. Making a change, Longwood as well, as Hamas steps up on the ice. Across, Hickson. Moved ahead. Thwarted by Gasparic was Lorenzo. Gasparic down the wall. Gasparic near circle. And that's somewhere within the equipment of Kasper Stabinsky. Another save made. Stabinsky off the face-off. Hamas could not get around Leighton Vaith. And another Longwood power play comes towards Cicchino, ushered to the boards. Gasparic, now Bellaro gets possession, takes a shot off the stick. Face off to the right of goaltender Gaetano Cicchino. Backhanded around by Nicotri. Nobody home for Longwood. Out of zone outlets to Schechter. Ryan Schechter bumped to the boards by Byers. Brandon Nicotri for Shepard. Shepard's pass hit a stick, but Shepard able to use the long reach to temporarily get to the line, not out. Slap shot from Schechter denied by Stabinski. Byers. And now Gaudiello had the opening goal for Longwood tonight. Could use another one. Here's Byers. Shot on goal, save made Cicchino. Rebound, kick to the corner by Muller. Muller back with it. Sweeps it to Morabito, gets it back to Muller. Muller in with speed. Takes it to the backhand. Nearly big hit delivered by Nicotri. Sent down ice by Longwood. Will be an icing against the Lions. With 3:52 left here in the third period, it's the Friars that lead by 2. Matuza's shot stick to the glass in the corner by Stabinski. Backhanded up ice. Here's Maresca. Backhanded along for DeAndrea. DeAndrea hits the brakes, runs into Bellaro. Loose puck. Souza steps up at the near point. Now loose puck controlled by Taby. Charo shot. Save made Stabinski. My goodness, another grade A save from Casper. Gasparic lost it to Hurlbert. Hurlbert to himself. Bellaro. Chris Bellaro trying to get around Gasparic. Gasparic does a good. Zano towards Cicchino, makes the stop. By Cooper Ferrara, who sends in. He and Hurlbert will change. Ryan Hickson for Byers. Byers sweeping into the zone. Taken away by Muller. Muller on his horse around Hickson. Muller bumped by Byers. Rolls into the corner for Schechter. Schechter back for Gasparic, who scores. Wrist shot through traffic. Beats Stabinski high. And Stabinski in a conversation with Duep after the goal. Made it 5-2 for St. A's. Live stats giving the goal to Gasparic. That is goal number 3 of the season for the Friar defenseman. Gasparic a goal, along with a goal from Matuza, and 3 scored by Liam Becker. That's how they get to 5. Looks like they're going to remain at 2 goals in the game. Michael Gaudiello from Shepard, but that'll do it. The Friars take this one 5-2. They surround their goaltender Gaetano Cicchino, who gets the win. 2 teams will flip places, with Longwood dropping to 4th and the Friars assuming the 3rd place position, and that will do School Hockey League. On behalf of our cameraman and producer Wally Mitchell, I am Ryan Brannigan saying so long